Welcome back to another episode of Thursday's Thoughts, and it's December already. Man, I can't believe it. And if you have not set your goals already, I would normally say, what the hell are you doing? But this whole entire episode is going to be about how to set, or I like to call it declare, your 2019 goals. And I'm also going to go over the 3 biggest mistakes that people make when setting goals. I know right now that if you go on Google and you type in goal setting, goal declaring, whatever you want, you're going to find 1,000 pages with 1,000 different ways, and that shit can get confusing, right? And maybe you're sitting there and you're like, you know what, man, I've set goals and I haven't hit them. Maybe you're like, I set goals and I put them in a drawer and I totally forgot about them. Maybe you're afraid to set goals because you're afraid to fail. And maybe you just don't know how to set goals properly. And I want to give you all the answers to those questions while putting in those 3 biggest mistakes I see. Look, I've had the opportunity to sit down, as you guys see on this podcast and elsewhere, with some of the best minds in the world. People way smarter than me, guys. And I've been able to take what they have given me as far as goal setting, implement it into my own life, give it to my clients, make tweaks, and see what works, what doesn't work, and the best way to streamline your goal setting so you are not doing it the wrong way, so you're doing it that's going to benefit you today, tomorrow, and for the future. So let's talk about the number 1 mistake people make. Number 1 mistake is that when you're setting your goals, you're doing it in your office, you're doing it in your house, you're doing it in a place that you're normally at. So the first thing I want you to do is I need you to step away from wherever you're normally at. No office, no school, no car. Like, I want you to get in a place where it's kind of unfamiliar, but a peace of mind type of place. What's going to happen is if you're sitting there in your office, even though it's a day off for everybody else, you're going to start thinking about office things. If you're at home, you're going to start thinking about things at home. You're going to get distracted. Our minds love distractions. We're addicted to it. You're going to become addicted to a distraction that's going to take you away from what you need to be focused on, which is your goals. So number 1 mistake people make is doing it in a very familiar place where they have distractions that easily come into their mind no matter how hard we block them out. So that's the first thing. You got to find a place, the beach, the mountains, the woods, the park, whatever it might be, but find a place and then set it in your calendar and do it this weekend. Whatever you do it this weekend. Do not go into the second week of December for sure without having these things done. And then let's get into actually goal setting. And I want to help you guys because I don't want this to be overwhelming and just a big task, but take it serious. So there's something that I want you to think about when you go to a graveyard and you see the tombstones. What's the most important part of the tombstone? You're looking in, maybe it's the year they're born. Maybe it's the year they died. Maybe it's that quote that's on there. Right? Well, what is it? The most important part of the tombstone. It's going to be that damn dash. That dash that's so small, but yet can have so much meaning. No matter what year they're born and what year they died, that dash is what means something. So I want you to own the dash. And the dash means your legacy. What do you want that dash to mean? So I want you to write down what is your legacy. And look, it could be a sentence. It could be a freaking paragraph. It could be 10 paragraphs. What do you want your legacy to be? Because that right there is your dash, and that is the most important part of your tombstone. Own your dash. What do you want your legacy to be? Now that you have that, let's talk about another mistake that people make. You write goals for business and personal. Or you write goals and they're kind of all out of order where sometimes it's this equity, that equity, and you probably don't even know the equities of life if you're not following me. So you got to write your goals down in 6 equities. These are the 6 equities. Health. Now it's twofold. That's going to be mental and physical. Health is number 1. Number 2, it's going to be relationships. Now that's family as well as friends. That's twofold. And then you have your finances. That's money going out, money coming in. Your savings, your investment properties, finances. Number 4 is business or career. This is not how much money you want to make in your business. This is the structure of it, right? Maybe you want 5 people under you. Maybe you want to get an office with 10 spaces in it. Whatever you want your structure to look like. That's number 4 for your business. What do you want it to look like? Number 5 is going to be personal. That's more leisure, right? More things that you do for you. to fill your cup up. And last but not least, it's spiritual. I'm not here to tell you what to believe in, what not to believe in. I'm here to help you find out what that is for you. Those are your 6 equities of life. Now you have those. That's what we set or declare our goals in each equity. Because I always talk about not having a balanced life. Let's have an integrated life. And I truly believe that when you understand what success looks like in each of those equities clearly, and you have complete clarity, it's so much easier to have that integrated life, to have that fulfilled life. So once you have those 6 equities, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with our 10-year goal in each equity. 10-year goal in each equity. Then our 5-year goal in each equity. Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty. The 3 and 1 year goals. Now the 3 and 1 year goals have to be stupid, specific, and granular. For example, if you want a boat next year, 2019, I don't want you to write down, I want a boat in 2019, or I'm going to have a boat in 2019. No, it has to be the actual date. What date do you want to buy? Not June. June what? Right, what size do you want it? What color do you want it? Shit, what name of the salesman do you want it to be? Like, figure out exactly what you want. You want to lose weight. 10 pounds? 12 pounds? What is it? Exactly how much weight and by what day? You need to get stupid granular. If you want to go on vacation, where? How long? How many people? Do you have a vision of what it looks like? If so, get super descriptive. So important, guys. This is so important. 3 and 1 years, you're going to get stupid, specific, and granular. And when you write it down, ask yourself, can I get more specific? Can I get more granular? Can I get more detailed than what I want so I can truly visualize it, manifest it, and create something from it by just looking at it, thinking of it? I want you to truly visualize it in the year 1 and 2. Write that down. I'm going to back up a second because if you've heard, I'm sure you have, the word bucket list, and everybody loves this word bucket list. Shit, I used to love the word bucket list. I actually saw a Facebook post not too long ago that I posted, and I was talking about my bucket list. What I realized through many years of implementing these things myself and knocking things off my bucket list is I'm not that much of a fan of the word bucket list. Because I know, like, when I jumped out of an airplane a few months back, I didn't do it because I want to do it before I die, even though I felt like I was going to die. I did it because I knew in that moment I was living. That's what life's about, right? Doing things to prove to yourself, to experience that feeling of absolute bliss, of living. So you're going to take your bucket list and you're going to crumble it up and you're going to create a living life list. A living life list. And most of these things in there are going to be personal equity. There may be other things in there, but what are 50 things you want to do to show yourself that you are living the life that you always wanted to live? And then you take those things and you put them into whatever equity it falls into in whatever year it falls into. Let me repeat that. 50 things on a living life list. And then you take those things and you put them into whatever equity they fall into. Most of them will be personal. In whatever year that they fall into. No more bucket lists. It's all about hashtag living life list. So you have your legacy. You have your 10, 5, 3, and 1 year goals, stupid specific. You have your living life list. Went over the first thing I told you guys is make sure you're not in a place where, you know, you're comfortable, basically, right? Not in a place that you're used to. The second thing is for you guys to understand the definition of a different equity. So you're not doing goals. So those are not doing goals in the same area. Then you realize you don't have a balanced, quote unquote, what I call integrated life. So those are your 2 myths so far, your 2 biggest mistakes, should I say, so far. Now, the third biggest mistake is people think the goal is the goal. And the goal is not the goal, guys. Hear me out here. We as humans are driven off of emotion, right? Our emotions drive us to take action or no action. We are driven by pain or pleasure. Those are the only reasons you and I make decisions. So knowing that, if you want to make, let's just say, $200,000 a year, and you know you have to do X, Y, and Z. Let's say you're making phone calls in order to prospect, in order to get clients. If you need to make $200,000 a year and you realize you need to make 100 calls a day in order to hit that 200,000. If you don't understand why you want 200,000, you're not going to make 100 calls a day. I'm just telling you straight up. You're not going to. You're not going to be consistent with it. You need to figure out, what does that $200,000 represent? What's the why behind it? So for your top 5 yearly goals, okay, top 5 yearly goals, I want you to write down the why behind it. Maybe it's to make $200,000 so you could pay for that wedding so that your wife or your husband or whomever can go ahead and have that dream wedding. Maybe it's make $200,000 so that you could pay for that home that you want to put a deposit on, and that you want a home because you want to have your kids grow up in a home because you never had the chance to. Or maybe you want to go ahead and buy that dream car because that just, shows that you're making it to a certain level in a dream car, something you've always wished you could get but never thought you could. I don't know what it is. I don't care what it is. All I know is you need to get granular on why. And you need to ask yourself, write this down, 3 whys deep. So your top 5 yearly goals, and get 3 whys deep and why it's important. Here's the kicker. This is the biggest mistake people do not take advantage of. You need to write an emotion behind it. What emotion does it bring you when you make $200,000 and it allows you to pay for that wedding, allows you to pay for the house, allows you to pay for the schooling? What is the emotion that it brings you? Write down all the emotions. So your top 5 yearly goals, you're going to have your why behind it and your emotion behind it. I'm going to put that bad boy up on the wall, because we're driven off emotions, guys. So think about this. On the days that you know you need to do things that you don't want to do it, and you're saying to yourself, but I need to make 100 calls because $200,000 is what I want to make. Is that going to drive you to take the action? Or I need to make 100 calls today because $200,000 is what I need to make so I can pay for this wedding for my wife because it's always what she's dreamed of. Or I can go ahead and I can pay for my son or my daughter's schooling because they deserve that. What is going to get you up out of bed to make those 100 dials? And maybe it's not 100 dials. Maybe it's losing the weight. And maybe that's so important to you because you want to be at your son or your daughter's wedding, or you want to still be able to play with your kids, or whatever it is. Why does this make me talk so fast and get so passionate about it? Because when I realized in my life that these goals are really just a vehicle to get to an emotion, I realized that right there is absolute pure gold. Because I know I could reverse engineer it. That, okay, well, if this is just a vehicle to get somewhere, let's really get granular on why I want this thing, whatever it is. Because there's going to be more days than not that I don't want to get out of bed, or I don't want to make those calls, or I don't want to do the things that make me uncomfortable. And it's not going to be that thing that drives me. It's going to be the why behind it and the emotions that it brings me on why I'm going to do it. And then last but not least, I want you to create a vision board. A vision board, if you do not know what it is a poster board with pictures and words of things that you want to accomplish in 2019. Like last year, I had words on there. One said, put your damn phone down. Maybe it's something like that. I also had, pictures of vacations I wanted to go on, the houses I want to buy. Get stupid specific on vision boards. I'm not going to go over a vision board episode right now. That's going to be another episode because I truly want to give you guys some insights on why vision boards are so important. But create a vision board so you can manifest it. And what I do is I put a vision board in my office. I have it right now, and I have my 5 yearly goals, the top 5 yearly goals, with the why and the emotion behind it. So every day when I'm starting to drag, I look up at it and I see it, and it brings that emotion back into me, and it makes me drive. It makes me take massive, aggressive, empowering action more often than not because it's in front of me all times. I have one client, get this, that has a vision board on her ceiling, so she sees it when she wakes up, in her car, so she sees it when she gets in her car, and at her office, so every time she's in her office. She has 3 vision boards. 3. I have another client that has 4 because she has 2 different spots in her house that she always goes. So you can recreate the vision board multiple times to have it in front of you as much as possible. Like I would say, do that if you can. And we'll go over vision board call, but you can go basically, like I said, just go right online. I don't want to waste your time going and looking for pictures on magazines or whatnot. Know what you want. Go online, print it out. Collapse time. You guys know time is an issue with everybody. So why would you try to make it hard for yourself and go look for these magazines or ask people for magazines? Dude, just print it out online. Pay a couple bucks for ink, print it out online. If you don't have it, go to a library after you have your whole file full of all the pictures that you want and download it, and go right from there and print it. Find a way to make it happen. So let's recap really quick here for these last few minutes here of Thursday's Thoughts. Number one is goal declaring. You want to make sure, first off, you are in a spot that you have a peace of mind and not distracted. So not a spot that you're normally used to being at where distractions are a normal thing. Number two is own your dash. What does your dash mean? Which means, what does your legacy mean? Write it down. Write it down. And then your 6 equities of life that we went over. Write down your 10, your 5, your 3 and 1 year goals. And then your 3 and 1 year goals get stupid, specific, and granular with dates and details. Then create your top 5 yearly goals with your why and the emotions that it brings you behind it. And then last but not least, create your vision board. Pictures of what you want in 2019, words of what you want in 2019 in all your equities. Put it in front of you as many places as you can with your top 5 yearly goals and your why and emotions behind it. Look at it every day. And remember that your goals are nothing but a vehicle to drive you to an emotion. So get clear on that emotion. Get clear on it. I'm going to give you one last bonus tip here. One last bonus tip that I think a lot of people, this is where you fail. This is what they don't tell you. You are writing your goals down and you're going to think one thing. How can I make that happen? How can I make that happen? Eliminate that thought. It's going to come into your mind. Do yourself a favor. Eliminate it. Why do you want to eliminate it? Because when you start thinking about the how, you start collapsing your mind on what could be really possible. You start putting limits on yourself. Oh, how would I do this? Oh my God, I don't know if I can go ahead and make this many calls. I don't know if I can go to the gym that much. I don't know if I can dedicate this. I don't know if I can, do this and do that. And you start doubting yourself because of all these events that have happened in your life, or all the thoughts, or the old you. So eliminate the how. When you start thinking about the how, say that doesn't matter right now. It's just the what and the why. Eliminate the how. It's just the what and the why. Because when you start thinking about the how, it will 100% lower your goals. It will limit you. And honestly, it may frustrate the hell out of you to where you don't even finish your goals. Do not worry about the how, just the what and the why. And last but not least, when you're writing your goals down, does it make you happy? Don't do it because that's what everybody else in the industry is doing. Don't write these goals down because that's what success looks like to the people that you look up to. Like, it's got to feel right for you. Does it feel right for you? And if it does, then put it down and go all in on it. It's that simple. I hope that this helped. If it did, please subscribe to this podcast. If you're on YouTube watching this, hit the little bell, subscribe to it. If you are on Spotify, follow it, whatever it might be, please subscribe to it so you get notified every time a Tuesday episode drops, every time a Thursday episode drops. And then I also want you guys, please, to write a review, write a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your biggest takeaway. And last but not least, share this bad boy out. Don't be selfish. Share it out. Somebody may need this. And if you know who that person is in particular, send it to them. If not, blast it out on social media, add some value to the universe, because I will tell you this. My man Chris Harder said a direct feeling you get, side effect you get of giving is getting. So please, if you have any questions, let me know. Go ahead and follow me at Real John Marone on all social media platforms, johnmarone.com. I also have my programs on there, The Ultimate You, which is group coaching and mentoring, as well as an online course. I have a retreat coming up, only a few tickets left. Let me know. I would love to help you further, but take these best practices on goal declaring, put it into action, and put it in your calendar to do it within the next 7 days, and don't let anything else take you away from doing it. 2019, make it the best one yet, but it has to start in 2018. Have a phenomenal rest of your day. Go crush it. Take this momentum. Go into the weekend and make sure you guys keep creating the ultimate version of you.